Today we are going to start the third lesson of EVS, the road to independence. And in this lesson we are studying about the struggles that took place during the independence and the life of people, how the people lived during the British rule. So in the first page of this lesson we can see a diary entry. 9th January 1915 morning. An unusual crowd has gathered at Apollo Banter Harbour, Bombay. People are waiting for the arrival of a foreign ship. An important person is arriving in the ship. All have come there to welcome him. The ship reached the shore. A tall, lean man in a long coat and turban walked out of the ship towards the crowd. Who is this great man? Yes, he is Gandhiji. Do you know who is Gandhiji? Yes, Gandhiji is the father of nation. Where did Gandhiji born? Gandhiji was born at Porbandar in Gujarat. Do you know the full name of Gandhiji? Yes, it is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So everyone was waiting for Gandhiji. Now he came with a long coat and turban. We know how Gandhiji dresses, isn't it? Yes. So Gandhiji was coming back from South Africa. Do you know he was a lawyer and he was studying in South Africa and he is coming back to India. Now look at the condition of India during the British rule when Gandhiji came back from South Africa. Here we can see a collage. That means some newspaper cuttings are given there, and in that newspaper cuttings we can see artisans and weavers starving. Artisans and weavers are starving. Starving means they did not get enough food. Taxes increased. New taxes introduced. Students punished for singing patriotic song. See, patriotic song. The students are punished for singing patriotic songs. Peasants live in misery. The peasants were living a miserable life. Editor hanged on a roadside tree for publishing a patriotic song. This editor, the one who writes a newspaper report, was hanged on a roadside tree for publishing patriotic song. These were the life of people during the British rule. The people of India were having a very miserable life during the British rule. The people were forced to obey the rules of the British people. But Gandhiji encouraged the people to stand united against the harassment and injustice of the British rulers. And he implemented a new mean of protest, Satyagraha, to fight against the British. Do you know what is Satyagraha? Satyagraha means holding on to truth. Never accept anything evil, oppose it. It is a form of non-violent resistance. Satyagraha means holding firmly to truth. So Satyagraha was the mean of protest that Gandhiji adopted to fight against the British rule. We know that Gandhiji led a very simple life. So the simple life and pleasing speech of Gandhiji captured the minds of ordinary people to stand united against the British rule. So people stood with Gandhiji to fight against the British. This mass support raised Gandhiji to the leadership of Indian National Congress. Now we will check some of the movements led by Gandhiji. So the first Satyagraha movement led by Gandhi in India was the Champaran Satyagraha. The peasants of Champaran village in Bihar were in great misery. They were forced to cultivate indigo in most of their fields and sell it at a rate fixed by British landowners. So the peasants of Champaran village were forced to cultivate indigo and sell at a rate fixed by the British landowners. And later the British landowners imposed excess taxes too. Finally what happened is all these peasants or all these farmers became more and more debt-ridden. So hearing all these miserable life, the Gandhiji and his followers reached Champaran and they led a Satyagraha struggle against the British and set the peasants free from misery. So this is the first Satyagraha led by Gandhiji in India, Champaran Satyagraha. There are many more struggles that led by Gandhiji. We will check. The next one is Kheda Satyagraha and the Ahmedabad textile mill strike. It was the second Satyagraha movement after Champaran Satyagraha, and Gandhiji organized this movement to support the peasants. The demand of Kheda Satyagraha was to reduce the taxes imposed on the peasants when the yields are low. And the other one, the Ahmedabad textile mill strike, was for raising wages, that means raising their salary. And this Ahmedabad textile mill strike was the first hunger strike of Gandhi and it gained success. So now we have discussed three struggles, that is Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha and Ahmedabad textile mill strike.